What's up, booktube? It's Leah Cooper, and today I am bringing you the Hopeful Tag 2.0. This was a tag created by Rhea, the Bookfinch. I will leave a link to their channel down below. Well, I'll leave a link to the original tag video down below, as well as the prompts if you are interested in doing this tag, or if you did the Hopeful Tag 1.0 version of this tag and haven't had a chance to do the follow-up. If you are in that situation, or if you're just feeling a little hopeful around the holidays, the end of the new year, you're excited for whatever 2022 has in store, consider yourself tagged and let me know down below that you did the tag so I can go watch your video. Quick housekeeping announcement. I am filming a little bit of a vlog this week, following me while I do some reading, while I do some crafting, while you're ready for the holidays and feel really stressed out about it. And I'll be posting that hopefully on Friday if I have enough to compile a full video, if I get some of the projects I'm working on done. That way you can see them completed, because I think that's one of the fun things about a vlog. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But now, without further ado, on to the questions. So question number 1 is a book world you'd like our world to take some influence from. There is a lot of fighting and conflict in this universe, but also at the end of the day, these books are fundamentally about found family and community and people with good hearts coming together to live communally. You know, like they do live at Redwall Abbey, but it's not religious. It's more of like a fraternity of brotherhood, right? People who want to live simple lives, who want to take care of one another, who love knowledge and good food and good music, and like they really enjoy a feast and good cooking and, you know, friendship and the forest and going on adventures together. I think our world could use a little more of that, like, community, fraternal support of one another, and also better food. Question 2 is to name a book about finding acceptance and love. To reference something I've read this year, I'm sure there's a lot of other books that would fit into this, that would fit this answer. I'm gonna go with Spindle's End by Robin McKinley, because this book, it's a retelling of Sleeping Beauty, but thematically it is definitely a book about discovering yourself, accepting who you are, and finding, I mean, both romantic love and also just like familial love, found family, but also like there is a deep ribbon of like acceptance in the way McKinley twists the Sleeping Beauty trope in this. And yeah, I think this is a pretty good answer to this question. And also, this is a great book and you should totally read it if you like fairy tale retellings. Question 3 is a nonfiction book that made you appreciate the world around you. I'm definitely gonna have to go to my Goodreads because I don't read a ton of nonfiction. I don't even know if I have a like bookshelf for the nonfiction I have read, to be honest. Nonfiction that I have read in the past couple of years is truly thin on the ground, unless you count all of like the excerpts and short essays that I read for class, and I wouldn't say any of that really made me appreciate the world around me. There was one book we read a chapter from this year called Meander, Spiral, Explode, Design and Pattern and Narrative by Jane Allison. And I do want to go back and read this book in its entirety, because I do think it's talking about the shape of narrative and then like the shape of fiction. It talks about the 3-act structure from like the Greek, is it the Aristotelian structure? Is that what it is? And it talks about how that's like a very rigid structure, and it's a very like Western thought structure, and there are like tons of other structures. And I don't know if it really made me appreciate the world around me, or I think it made me appreciate and think about narrative in you know, a more complex way. But I haven't read that whole book. There is an answer. I think scrolling back through everything I've read on Goodreads, the next thing that pops out at me is Weird Things Customers Say in Bookshops by Jen Campbell. Jen Campbell is a very prolific booktuber here on YouTube, and this was her, I think, first published book, and it is nonfiction, and it's basically just quotes that she collected while she was working as a bookseller in London, and it's freaking hilarious. And as someone who has also worked as a bookseller at multiple bookstores, so true. And it definitely put a smile on my face while reading it. So there would be my secondary answer. Question 4. A book about community and people working together for the benefit of all. I have an answer for this. It's the book I'm currently reading, which would be Year One by Nora Roberts, because this book, like the entire premise of this book is like there's a pandemic and a post-apocalyptic disaster, and it's following kind of 3 different POVs of people escaping the big city, and two of the POV groups have linked up, and I know that all 3 are going to link up and they're probably going to make a community, and there's all this talk about, you know, we gotta band together and support one another and stuff like that. But I don't think this is a very good book. Like, this is like a 2-star read for me at the moment, so I wouldn't recommend this, but it does answer the question. Let me think if I can think of another book that answers the question that I like more. So this might be an unexpected answer, but I'm going to go with Daughter of the Forest by Julia Marillier. So this is a book I read last year, and I absolutely adored it. It's a very long book. It's 550 pages in this tiny print mass market edition, and you have to get a really long way into the book before you get any of the kind of like community building. But I would say the last 20% does deal strongly with a community building aspect. I absolutely love the romance. There was a twist in how the 2 romantic interests got together and like started to build bridges between their cultures, and also there is like so much interesting community building between the brothers and the love interest, and like it's very much, the end is very much about people with different skills kind of filling in gaps for one another to build a stronger community and a healthier community. That's not the focus of this book, but it is like the focus of the end of the book. And I loved this book, and I do highly recommend it. Though, trigger warning, there is an extremely graphic rape scene in this book that's very unsettling. But otherwise, I love this book. Question 5. Shout out 3 booktubers who inspire you with their positive energy. I'm going to go with RK Stumbling Bear. They have been doing YouTube for a couple of months. They have a very small channel, but they have such a like sweet, sunny personality, and they really put a smile on my face whenever I watch one of their videos. Like, they have such like positive energy. It's always really nice to see one of their uploads. I want to mention Thomas over at SFF 180. Probably a weird way of framing this, but like Thomas tackles some really tough topics in SFF. I think one of my favorite kind of ongoing series from him is his reviews of like past Nebula winners or past Hugo winners, like old classic Hugo winners, and just his reviews of like classic mid-century SFF. And he gets some truly interesting capital I comments from, I think, old straight white men who think he's just going to agree with them and their POV, and Thomas claps back like so wonderfully against these comments. He is such a staunch defender of like diversity in SFF and emerging voices, and as well as, you know, pointing out like the good and the bad in classic SFF. And his reviews are always so thoughtful and interesting, and there's like a great positive energy over on his channel if you like SFF. And then the last person I'm going to mention is Emily Kate. She's a Canadian YouTuber. She brings a very like academic vibe. She has such a sweet, energetic energy about her, and I just love listening to her. Well, I love when she does like a weekend reading vlog, so we get her thoughts as she's reading these titles, because she's very academic about it. She's very analytic about her reviews and her reading process, while also, you know, just simply enjoying books. And I just find her very interesting to listen to, and very just like positive vibes, right? I love putting her on. and just getting feeling inspired to read some books and to tackle my TBR. Then question 3 is optional, and it is just to tag people to do the tag. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you have not done this tag and you are feeling hopeful, or you want to feel hopeful about the end of the year and the new year rolling over, consider yourself tagged. And yeah, that's going to be everything for me today. Short and sweet, but hopefully you got a couple of recs for things that, you know, pretty positive. I think all of my recs today were fantasy. I don't know. I'm feeling that cozy winter fantasy warmth. And I think all of the books I mentioned do fall into those categories, and I would highly recommend all of them. So there you go. That is my hopeful book tag 2.0. I know this can be kind of a stressful time of the year. I know a lot of people can maybe feel daunted by the changing of the year. I always really feel energetic and hopeful about the end of the year, and I love Christmas, and even though I'm really a little stressed out about getting everything done before Christmas that I need to get done, and getting everything done by the end of the year that I need to get done, namely my Goodreads reading goal, I'm still feeling very, very positive about this coming year. So many life changes have happened, and they've been stressful but good, and I can't wait for 2022. So thanks for watching, and look out for that vlog I'm working on. It's going to be a hot mess, but you'll get to see a little bit of my disaster apartment and the things that I'm currently working on. So hopefully it'll be entertaining. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you on Friday. Bye.